I also invited you whole, talking about being on that deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now you actually played on that field, right? That explains a lot. Yeah, right. That might explain. Oh. Are you coming to the Finance Committee meeting? What dinner tomorrow night? Pardon? No. Is it tomorrow? I thought, what's Monday night? Or what's Monday? All right. I'll call the Finance Committee to order and note for the record that all members are present and accounted for. I would accept a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Next item on our agenda is approval of the minutes from January 8th.
Move approval?
I'll second, but I really wasn't at the entire
I'll
meeting.
second.
Oh,
for you.
yeah.
Are there any changes to the minutes?
Seeing none?
I'll
Not for
accept the
me.
motion
Move
for approval. Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. The minutes are approved. First item and only item on the agenda is 4019. I don't think we've had very much recent discussion of this, so I think we'll have to do an in-depth.
Actually, Mr. Mayor, I do have a correction to the minutes.
Oh, all right.
It explains under roll call that I arrived at 10:32. However, under number 3, it says that I was absent. I guess I was absent during when the vote was taken, so, okay,
Yes.
that's what that is. Got it.
So,
I'm not reading too well this afternoon.
are there, right. Are there any additional questions for Director Gerald or City Manager Sutherland? I think we've,
So
bless you.
the cost of the property, or the contract price will be or is 2.2 million. Is that right? Okay. Thank you.
Correct.
That's it. Just wanted to make sure I had it right.
And the extra $10,000 that was in the staff report is for closing costs. So it's a very highly precise number.
So as I would, if there's no further discussion, I would accept a motion to recommend approval to the council.
All right. So moved, Mr. Chair.
I'll second, but I would like discussion. I do have a question.
All right,
Yeah, and I just wanted to bring up a couple things that,
all right.
I know we're not supposed to be asking questions of you, it goes the other way, but
No,
I have a couple things I'd like to at least discuss, but
Sure.
after you. After you?
I am looking at the staff report, page 2. And from the work session earlier, there was some discussion about how much money is left over from the original allocations of 5.8 million is what I see was the total.
Correct.
So what is the 4.3 accurate as what's available today?
Yes.
So the ask in the 21 budget will be,
The difference in the 4.3, when we propose it, it'll be the difference in the 4.3 and the 10.5. By the time you strike it, we hope to have the redesign done, and maybe you can
Okay.
cut some.
so we have, and obviously we haven't read all of this, but 10.5 is the total amount of the project to date.
10.5 is the total amount of the project to build it on Hudson Street.
Right.
So that 10.5 doesn't include the 1.5 you already spent to demolish it on Spa Road and the original existing design, the Weems Whalen testing, the fencing, those things. That's already done and gone, it's a sunk cost.
Okay, so the 10.5 is what is needed for this project to date.
Yes.
Okay. And we have 4.3 million of that.
Yep.
And is that leaving what's on Chinkopin Round Road? Utilities on, this is completely moving everything to Hudson Street.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that includes the full scope, moving utilities, vacating Chinkopin Round Road, and having everything out at Hudson Street.
Okay, except what's on the west side of Hudson Street, Spa Road. Doesn't include the Salt Dome. Salt Dome's going to stay.
no,
That's going to. Okay,
Everything
so it's
goes.
everything.
So we
Okay.
will vacate everything on Spa Road.
Okay, on both east and west sides of Spa Road. Okay. I thought I heard something about leaving that side of Spa Road as a cost savings, but no. Okay, this is good.
Director Gerald, you wanted to,
Yes, so we've had discussions with Alderman Savage, and we had a little bit of discussions this morning at the Waterways Cabinet meeting about making the Hudson Street site sort of a showplace for both LEED and for environmental protections. And of course, there's costs that go with that. And I'm concerned about the overall cost, and we have to do a certain amount of that already, and we'll certainly do the stormwater management in accordance with the council resolution, and we'll meet the LEED silver requirements, but there's a lot of interest in having us go well beyond both of those. So I guess, wanted to open that discussion to see how much support there is for us spending additional money for this project for those initiatives. I personally think it would be wonderful if we could do that, if we could make this an environmental showplace. If we can do it within the budget, even better. I think we have to do it within the budget, but how much of a appetite is there for going above and beyond for both LEED and for stormwater management?
Do we have a choice? I mean,
Certainly,
doesn't the code call?
No, and we'll do the minimum required. We'll do the 125% treatment for stormwater, and we'll do the LEED silver. But what the desire is for us to go well beyond both of those, to go to LEED, either gold or platinum, and to treat a much higher level and do a lot of other things in the stormwater management area above and beyond the treatment that's required for the 125% that.
Any idea about how much more that would cost? I mean, ballpark?
Ballpark, a couple $100,000 probably. Somewhere in that ballpark.
From silver to gold or silver to?
No, that's for both of those initiatives. So that's both for LEED and for increased stormwater management. I'd say probably in the $200,000 to $250,000
Well,
range.
I'd be all about that. In light of the work the county has done, Weems Creek has had, it's been treated very badly for the last 30 years or so, ever since they widened Route 50, and then with the additional runoff from construction on Jennifer Road. I mean, we've got mud front property that used to be prime waterfront. I'm all about, treating that as best we possibly can. I think the county has opened the door for us to improve things considerably with the work they've done, and I'd love for us. I mean, I'm the cheapest guy on the council when it comes to the budget, and I think it's worth it to spend the extra money. Really do.
With the expectation that the cost of the building will be less because of the new design, could we say that the first 200,000, assuming it'll be more than that in savings, we put it towards the cost of the, whatever you want to call it, enhancing it?
Yeah, it's just a matter of timing, because if we're going to do this, we need to start that design now. We won't know the cost until sometime down the road when we have a more developed design, which should include this increased stormwater management and the additional LEED requirements. So it's kind of a timing issue. But it seems to me that it's, as a percent of the whole project, it's not a big percentage.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that we would be proud of if we have that type of project at the end. We certainly have that with the water treatment plant. It's very difficult to get LEED certification for a plant. That's usually just for more office and commercial buildings, but we accomplished that. So I think that just says a lot about the city when we're able to do some of those things.
So Alderman Payon, is that a motion that you were making?
Yes.
Then I'll second.
Do you want to, could someone restate the motion?
That is, we're amending it's an amendment to the support for,
The motion was to recommend favorably to the
Right,
council.
So that's what I'm saying, you have that motion on.
So we would, I don't know, what do we do? Withdraw
That's-
the motion?
That's correct. You don't have to withdraw the motion. You just have to amend it. You can amend it now.
Okay.
You're in discussion. It's motion, seconded, and you're amending. Any one of you could amend the motion to include in your recommendation additional sum up to amount that you deem appropriate to cover LEED certification and additional enhancements to the stormwater management.
It's silver, what's above that?
Gold.
Gold?
Gold and then platinum.
Okay. And we will attempt to make it,
We want to go above silver. So at least gold, if we can get to platinum without being,
Okay.
it may not even be possible to get to platinum, but we would endeavor for at least gold.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
So the amendment is that we recommend to the council that we go to the higher level of stormwater, the required level of stormwater mitigation, and go above silver to at least gold lead. Was there more about, is that it? Or did you want to get into using potential savings elsewhere? I think that's good enough for me.
I think it is
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, all right. So that would be, that's it.
I think we should make that argument, however, with our colleagues when they want to know why we're increasing the cost of the project.
Right.
We can tell them that we thought about how to potentially fund it.
So is there any further discussion on the motion as amended? All those in favor of the amendment to the original motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those in favor of the motion to recommend approval to the council as amended, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Correct.
I have one last question, and that is the process. So we're making this recommendation to the council, but, and maybe this goes to Mr. Lyle, what we're doing now will be sent over to the Planning Commission, put on their schedule, they'll opine on it, and it'll come back to the council for a final vote?
Well, the actual ordinance itself is already being prepared to go to the Planning Commission.
Okay, good.
So that'll be, your motion today won't affect or impact that at all.
Good.
It's going up as the ordinance.
Because I think we're all becoming acutely aware that there's this meter running, and the longer we delay getting these things committed in contract, the more our costs go up, so.
Right, and please be reminded, under the contract of sale or purchase, there's a deadline of March 31st, 2020 to actually go to closing.
Right.
So 60 days for due diligence period, ends March 31st, and then we have 15 days, not later than 15 days to go to closing after due diligence period closes. So roughly 75 days from the date of the execution of the document, which was January 14th.
All right, are there any other questions?
Well, may I ask? So will we make it clear to the Planning Commission that we would like for them to act on this on the day it's presented?
Well, we can. Well, but I mean, it's up to the Planning Commission
Right.
to
It's
do.
up to the planning commission, but that's what
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Dr.
just need
Nash
to know
said
it's
she would
time
do.
sensitive.
Yeah, they have a 45-day turnaround, and if they don't do anything, it's, it'll happen. But we will offer our recommendation.
Right.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any other business before the committee? If not, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All right, thank you. We are adjourned.
Thank you.